Wittenberg Project, thank you so much for joining us again. Thank you so much for watching, Dr. Athanasius. I'm gonna do another reaction video. This occasion again, Dr. MacArthur. Um, and yeah, please like, subscribe, share. We really appreciate your support. Please make sure that you comment if you can, so that we can engage, and so you can help out the channel in this way. Uh, uh, so, well, I guess without any further ado, let's get back into the video and make our comments.
It is a little strange that we have such an aversion to slavery because historically there have been abuses.
Well, just to give you some context, this video, I saw it posted on YouTube. It has kind of resurfaced as of late. Uh, and from what I saw on this particular YouTube channel, it was posted in 2008. I believe this video has resurfaced because, as of late, Dr. MacArthur and people that, have adopted these conspiracy theories as far as the COVID-19 and the wearing of masks. And he has been very, let's say, rebellious. He has created or sort of enlarged his following, his cult, because of this rebellion. This he's standing for Christianity, and he's standing for God and American values. And a lot of people resonate with that type of language. And so I would imagine that a lot of people that resent his lack of consideration for the public health have dug in into his old videos and found this video, which is kind of scandalous and alarming. And so, just to give you that context.
There have been abuses in marriage. We don't have an aversion to marriage.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty, very scandalous. This idea that, you want to compare slavery to marriage, that, he's condemning this aversion that we obviously have to slavery, kind of makes you wonder, Dr. MacArthur, what exactly are you trying to do here? So you want us to be happy, to celebrate slavery? And obviously, in the context of this video, he's talking about American slavery, which was, atrocious. There's nothing really to be. Well, of course, Calvinists. I've seen so many, black, Calvinist, and of course also white Calvinist, try to brainwash us and gaslight us and tell us that slavery was such a great thing. I mean, we made a video about this in our channel, so if you want to see it, you can go to our portfolio, look at this video. So I guess that in the very kind of twisted minds of these individuals, even some black people, they would celebrate slavery, see it as something good, something positive, that God brought us here to have more money and to know Christianity and the kind of thing, which very very a twisted theological system right there. So, but you would have to ask Dr. MacArthur. So, are you sad that this thing stopped? Do you want us to celebrate this? Very strange. Very, very strange.
Particularly because there have been abuses. There are parents who abuse their children. We don't have an aversion to having children because some parents have been abused.
Yeah, Dr. MacArthur, I would like to ask you, what about slavery would you like to rescue? What benefit did you see out of it? I mean, I already addressed that it is twisted to celebrate slavery because it, quote unquote, brought us to America so that we can see Christianity. That's just a bad ethical system. That's consequentialism, and in a very utilitarian way of evil. I mean, it's despicable. To compare marriage to, there's much to rescue in marriage. There's much to rescue in having kids, sons and daughters. And of course, nothing in this planet is untainted of evil. Everything is being touched by evil. Everything. But slavery. So let's break it down here for you, Mr. MacArthur, Dr. MacArthur. Slavery is the taking of someone against their will, at least in the American version of slavery, It was not the case in the Hebrew slavery. If you want to talk about the Old Testament, most of these slaves became slaves because of wars or because they sold themselves as indentured slaves because they wanted to pay a debt, etc., etc. And most of these people could walk off. At least the Hebrew slaves could walk off their places of work and conduct a regular life. There were protections to, you couldn't abuse them. You couldn't do a lot of things to these people. But I don't think that you have in mind this type of slavery. But still, even in that context, it is not something to be desired. It's not something to be celebrated. To compare marriage, something that was instituted by God from the beginning, to perpetuate the human race, and compare that with kidnapping someone, with raping someone, beating people to force them to do work, labor for free, to enslave people based upon their ethnicity, something that is not biblical at all. I would imagine that you would respect the Bible, and you like to hold up to, this is the Bible, this is the Bible. You're such a biblicist. It's bizarre, and it makes you wonder. Like, as I'm making this video, it's like, who are we even getting involved with? Like, is Dr. MacArthur a troll? Because at some point you have to realize there are certain things that are so basic that you don't really have to converse or try to talk to someone about. So it ultimately makes you feel, as I make this video, as I said before, what is the purpose? What is the point? I had to convince you that slavery was not fun.
Abusive. Of course, it can have any kind of situation where abuse can be involved. The reason unions grew up in America was not to free slaves. The reason unions grew up in America was because there were people who had businesses and they were abusing their employees. So to throw out slavery.
So you are trying to advocate for some system like a union so that slaves will not be mistreated? It's a very strange logic. Very strange logic.
As a concept, simply because there have been abuses, I think is to miss the point. In any kind of human relationship, there can be abuses. There can also be...
Yeah, it was not a normal relationship. It was a forced relationship. These people were separated from, you care so much for, family values and law and order and the church. Well, how in the world did the church get involved in accepting, propagating, even a denomination was created because they wanted to have missionaries that were slave-holding Christians? As of late, you become very famous. Well, you're already famous, but you are out there in social media and craving or getting all these new fans because you defend the family. Did you know that most of these slaves were separated from their families? Not only in Africa, but here they were sold, children separated from their parents, parents dying as they were working. And forget that in human conditions, it's a matter of freedom, something that you advocate a lot for, Dr. MacArthur. The freedom to worship whenever we want to worship. Freedom of, free speech. But you are celebrating the kidnapping of another human being, another imago Dei. It's such a bizarre way to think. It's such a bizarre system.
Benefits for many people, poor people, perhaps people who weren't educated, perhaps people who had no other opportunity. Working for a gentle, caring, loving master was the...
No, I'm good. I'd rather have my freedom, Dr. MacArthur. And I don't need you to patronize me. How about just letting me be? How about uh, you spoke about education. Well, how about you making it possible for, black folk to be educated and to receive to be able to read the Bible? Some slave masters didn't want their slaves to be educated because that was going to create a rebellion in the slave quarters. How about allowing people to educate themselves, to go to schools with, later down the line, during the Jim Crow era, to be able to get educated, to be able to buy homes, to be able to have property? Like, black folk don't need you to enslave them for them to progress, Dr. MacArthur. I mean, I honestly, I wanna ask the audience here, you my friends, the Wittenberg Project family. Has this man recanted from this video? Has he apologized for this, what I'm saying? Because if not, he needs to. This is absolutely crazy, patronizing, just sinful and evil. Sanitizing a crazy institution. This is unbelievable.
Best of all possible worlds. If you had the right master.
And again, it's very easy for you to say that because you were not the enslaved party. What if this happened to your family member, to your parents, to your children? Well, I know what's best for your children, and what's best for your children is for them to enslave them so I can give them opportunities to have progress economically and spiritually and whatnot. I mean, this is so immorally crazy.
Everything was taken care of. So we have to go back and take a more honest look at slavery.
It's so patronizing. The best way for you to take care of yourself is to have us do it for you in the manner of slavery. What?
And understand that God has, in a sense, legitimized it when it's handled correctly by...
Nah. God didn't legitimize this. God didn't legitimize for some people to be considered lesser than others, to be enslaved because by the theology of so many people out there, we are a lesser ethnicity, that we don't know what we're doing, that we're animals and cannibals that have to be Christianized, educated, domesticated, like cattle. What God are you talking about, Dr. MacArthur?
Saying this is the way you're to view your relationship to Jesus Christ, the perfect, all wise, all loving, all compassionate, all beneficent Lord, and you willing to be his slave because of such unique...
It's so convenient because only one set of people were called to do this. The others were called to be the slave masters, to be superior than the others. This is like going back 200, 300 years ago, where literally slave masters and pastors were using these verses to domesticate their people, to brainwash them, to gaslight them into believing that, perhaps this is what God has called me to do. To serve this dude for free and to be thankful because I'm obeying God by submitting myself to this dude and to be whipped. And even if they were not whipped, just the fact that you have been dehumanized because someone took your freedom. This is beyond
care provided by him. If you ask me to be a slave, I will simply ask you one question. Who is my master? If you tell me that my master loves me with a perfect love from which I can never be separated, if you tell me...
Well, maybe I want to be separated from you, Dr. MacArthur. I don't want to be with you. What are you going to do about it? Whip me? Report me to the slave police for them to search me? Put a bounty on my head? Go hunting for me up in the north or Canada and bring me back here by force? Or shoot me down? How many whips am I going to get once you find me for attempting to run from you?
That my master will pour out all his riches on my behalf and hold nothing back. If you tell me that my master knows me and knows what is best for me, and in every case will provide everything that is best for me.
Oh, no, you don't know what is best for me. I can do it by myself. How about you leaving me by myself? Leave me alone. Don't treat me like an animal. Don't make me to work for free. Don't make me raise your kids. Don't make me live in a place where I don't want to live. How about that?
If you tell me that my master will use me in the advancement of his own enterprises and that I will share in his reward, if you tell me that my master will make me as a son and give me all that he possesses as an heir of his own true son, if you tell me that my master will forgive all my sins and reward me forever, I can't sign up fast enough to be a slave of that master.
Man, get out of here. You're equivocating. You're playing games. The slavery, so you just really compared the slavery that we all Christians have to Jesus Christ to the slavery that we have to some human master. I mean, I feel very sorry for people that are fighting modern slavery in Africa, in Asia, and even here in America, where there are some pockets of the, children that are being sexually trafficked, enslaved. MacArthur wouldn't have anything for you. And here's the kicker. If we go back 400 years ago, right here in America, I think you already know what MacArthur would have been peddling, on whose side he would be on. Definitely not the side of slaves. He'll be right up there trying to tell them, hey man, this is for your good. This is what Jesus has for you.
And that is the issue. Slavery is not objectionable if you have the right master. It's the perfect scenario.
Are you picking up the patronizing, the level of disrespect? Who else do you talk to like this? You only speak to a people like this in our modern day here in America. You only speak to people like this that you don't respect at all. That's the bottom line. When you don't consider them, you don't respect them, you talk to them like this. I would dare for you to go ahead and talk to any black person, any individual, and tell them this nonsense. I know what is best for you. You're being a slave. You're being a slave just like you're to me, just like you're a slave to Jesus Christ.
Rio, everything you need is met and more in a caring, loving environment where God provides all that we need through Christ. That's what it means to be a Christian.
So talk about manipulation. Oh boy, you just have to laugh. I want to think that the majority of people would just flat out reject this, but what a trip. Wittenberg Project, thank you so much for watching. Please comment, share, like, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.